how we can improve our English skill, I mean speaking skill.
Okay, so first of all, the basic thing is you can't basically just target one module of a language and then work on it, because language is actually based on four pillars. It is listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So when you are trying to develop one module of that particular language, you have to focus on other three as well. Let me explain why. For example, if you are going to speak, you have to understand how to spell those words, you have to understand how to pronounce those words correctly. And to learn the proper pronunciation, you have to give proper focus on the listening section of that particular language, because the native speakers, they have the best pronunciation for that language. We're Bengali speakers, so we know how to pronounce Bengali better than anyone else. Likewise, the English people know how to pronounce English the best. That's why you have to focus on the listening section. Again, when you are actually talking about spoken English, let's say you want to become a good speaker, and in order to become a good speaker, you just don't have to have vocabulary knowledge. Everyone can learn vocabularies. Let's say someone has good memory, he has memorized over 5 to 10 hundred vocabularies. It is possible. It's not an impossible task, but that's why it is kind of tough for every single person.
Okay, okay, sir. So I have the another questions. This is not IELTS related. Actually, we have been learning more and more grammatical rules since we started our school life, but we never try to make a simple sentence in English. Do you think that it's the biggest mistake that we never try to make sentence, and making sentence is extremely required?
I won't even talk about the sentence. The basic problem is people are learning grammar way too much. It Grammar is definitely necessary for a language, obviously, that's okay. But when you are actually learning Bengali from your very early childhood, let's say every single kid in our country, he may be 3 or 4 years old, or even 5 to 6 years old, he can actually speak Bengali very fluently, right? Even exist. So every single language, we have to learn it in such a way that we don't get stressed. Let's say when you're learning 100 to 200 grammatical rules, you're feeling pressured, you are getting scared of that topic, you're thinking of a language as an academic subject, you're thinking of that language as English, no sorry, you're thinking of the language as a mathematics or as a topic of science where you have to apply your knowledge or anything. No, language isn't an academic topic. It's just simply a language. You can speak Bengali, then after watching Hindi movies since your childhood, you can even speak Hindi. That is also a language. So English should be learned and taught following the same method. After you have become a somewhat good speaker, after you have somewhat good command over English, then you can focus on the grammar. When at that moment you focus on the grammar, you'll be able to understand how that rule came into being. Let's say my name is Dash. So how did it came? The grammatical rules will be automatically transferred to your mind when you read it after becoming a good speaker. But if you want to learn any language by learning the grammar first, it won't work out. So that is the basic problem. You have to work on the language first and then grammar, not the grammar and the language.
Okay, okay. So you have already 7.5 band score. Nevertheless, you are trying to increase your band score. So what's your desired band score?
So, and day by day, well, there is no actually particular desired band score, because let me just be totally frank. Okay, the thing is, IELTS is after an exam of for the speaking part, it lasts for only 10 to 12 minutes. And in 10 to 12 minutes, you can never actually judge how good of a speaker a person is. Okay, that is never ever possible. So I'm not actually banning or aiming for band 9. A band 8 is totally perfectly fine, because from the exam perspective, if let's say it was a discussion based exam, when you have to talk about or talk in English for a whole day, you have to talk about different types of things, you have to converse with a lot of people, then it would have been mattered. I would have got my ego hurt that I'm a very good speaker and then I did got a good score. But no, it's not like that, because in this exam I have to speak for only 10 to 12 minutes, and I don't have the independence to choose my own topics. I don't have the total control over what I have to choose them. That's why I'm not actually targeting for any particular band. A band 18 speaking is totally fine.
Okay, okay. This is the last questions for you. So the last questions is how we should pass our leisure time.
About the leisure time, it actually totally depends on you, because a lot of people actually prefer doing productive works during their leisure time. And by productive works, I mean you can read a book, you can just even chat with your friends. Chatting with your friends is also a productive thing. When you are actually discussing something important, let's say you're talking about a startup, let's say you're talking about starting a new business, let's say you're talking about your futures, then that could also be counted as a productive thing. Again, some people believe that we also work all day long, all weeks, 52 weeks a year, and we don't have any leisure time.